Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We thank you so much for taking the time to come back on the town with Tanya. I'm your host, Tanya Cooper, and today we've got something very special for you. In the studio is the talented Omar Shariff Spruell. Now, he's going to have to correct me on the last name, Spruell.
No,
Uh,
you said it. You said it right the first time.
hey,
Yeah,
Spruell.
Sproul.
Spru.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Sorry about that. The writer and director behind the highly anticipated web series In Route. Okay, and I can tell you I'm a little addicted already. So whether you're a fan of indie films, thought-provoking stories, or you're just good conversation, excuse me, you're in for a treat. Omar is here to share the inspiration behind his series, how it came to life, and what's next for him as a storyteller. So sit back and relax and let's just dive in. Hey, welcome.
Hey, how you doing? Happy to be here.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. I have to always do my claps. Those are my thing. So Omar, oh wow. So tell us, let's start from the beginning. Like how did you come to the path of filmmaker and storyteller? How'd that begin?
Well, I always had an active imagination. So right about the time I stopped playing with toys, which is believe it or not, I was like 17. I started dabbling in writing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And trying to figure is that age you're trying to figure out what you want to be. But I knew I had an active imagination.
Mhm.
And my sister had mentioned something to me one time, like, "Oh, you should be a writer like Stephen King." So I was like, "Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea to put my ideas on paper."
Mhm.
And I could not get through novels. And I see 600 pages. I go, I can't do this. I'm not a novel writer.
Right.
Um, but then I saw the format of screenplays,
Mhm.
120 pages. I was like, oh yeah, I can pretty much do that. So
Really?
always been into movies and stuff like that. And I just started writing a bunch of terrible scripts when I was like 16.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Wow, you were young.
yeah, I was 16 when I started when I finished my first one. I
Mhm.
think as a writer, you have to finish the first one
Yes.
before you can really kind of get a hold of what you're doing. You'll start something and write it, then you'll
Yeah.
stop. And I did that a bunch of times. But I
Right.
think 16 was the first time I actually finished the screenplay. And
Mm.
then the next year I did another one. And then by the time I got 18, I was
Mm.
doing at least one a year.
Mm.
I was
Wow.
writing about a screenplay a year.
Okay.
Um,
Screenplay.
and
You didn't go to school for this?
no, I didn't go to school for
Wow.
it. I wanted to. My grades probably didn't look as good to get me into a college or anything like that.
Okay.
So when I was about 18, I was planning on moving out. And my father came to me. He said, it don't make no sense for you to try to move out knowing what you want to do. He knew I wanted to be a writer. He said, just stay here,
Mhm.
work on your craft and stuff like that, and then move out later on. So that was a big important thing for me.
Yeah,
Um,
having support.
yeah. So
Wow.
with my father, he kind of supported me with that, and I started getting better as a screenwriter and starting to network right around the age of 21, 22. I was
Mhm.
telling like people at my job that, oh, I'm going to be a writer and stuff like that. And one of my friends was like, you got to get out there and start networking. This is right around 9/11. So I'm going to New York. I'm trying to network with people, going to
Mhm.
plays. And
Mhm.
I ran into somebody that introduced me to somebody else. He wanted me to write a screenplay for him.
Really?
Yeah, so I wrote the screenplay for him. He started filming it,
Uh-huh.
and when he started filming it, I met another person, which ended up being my mentor on that
Wow.
particular project.
Now, how old were you there? How were you?
At, at
About.
that age, I was about 21.
Okay, 6, 17, 19. So 4 years in, hard work. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was 21.
Oh,
I
wow.
met this guy. I seen him setting up the lights and stuff. This is the first time I ever seen any type of production, anything. And I'm in a maze, and I'm like, wow. But for some reason, that movie, I don't know if he ever finished it or what happened. The director was a little bit loony.
Mhm.
So I lost contact with most of the people on that set.
Oh,
Surprisingly, that same sister that told me to go into writing went to
mhm.
go pay her rent, and my mentor was paying his rent at the same realtor,
No
and
way.
she remembered him because she came with me that day, and we
Wow.
hooked up. And from there, he taught me so much about directing and blocking and lighting and so much stuff where I decided that it'd be easier for me to go into it as a filmmaker and a writer instead of just a writer. Because a writer, I'm stuck just doing that. But a filmmaker, I have, control to do everything.
Right.
Basically soup to nuts. So I owe a lot to him, John Mitchell. He taught me so much that I feel like I'm indebted to him for that. So from there, once we hooked back up, we started working on little short scripts that I was writing just to get me in a flow of directing. Shortly after that, I directed my first feature, which is called Family Curse.
Okay.
It is on YouTube somewhere, but by the time we finished it, HD had just came out. We shot it in standard definition, and I couldn't sell it.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and then from there, I just always been working on smaller projects and helping my friends and other people coming up, networking, trying to get everybody into the trying to get everybody where they need to go, and working in the business at the same time.
Wow, that's really a lot of tenacity. From 16 to 21, and you're actually doing it, and no school. I'm mind blown right now, because I started writing because I'm a writer anyway. But to be fair, everybody I know went to film school, they went to writing school, and I took creative writing, so it's not like far fetched. And I've read tons of screenplays, so it's not like I've never seen one in my life. But it really is a challenge when you start, because you're like, okay, is this interior, exterior? I mean, that part, but like,
it took me a while to figure that out.
So that's what I was going to ask. How'd you figure out, like, what's the difference between a parenthetical and a action shot? Which I'm going to assume action means it's actually they're doing something, rather than
that's what that is. The parentheticals, I don't know if I use them as much. Like the fade in, fade out. So I don't use those as much, because I'm coming up from reading and understanding what people are saying. They said don't put those in. Let the director put them in. So I just never put them in.
Oh, really? Parenthetical? Well, thank you. Tell me something new.
Yeah. So I'll put stuff in now for myself.
Right.
But a lot of times I just try to get the basic outline of the story. Okay. And then anything I need them to understand a little bit more, I'll put that in. But most of the time, I just want the story. I want their imagination to go where it should go. But when I know I'm planning on directing it myself, I got a little bit more freedom, because I can put things in there like beats and stuff like that I know I want the actor to do this, or I want the audience to feel that when I know I'm going to shoot it.
Wow. So when you first, I'm just curious, now you got my brain going, because I took that NYU, the Yellowstone, what is it called? Rolling Stone, Yellowstone Tisch program, Writing Essentials, Film Essentials it's called. I took some class, and it just gives you a gist of everything from start to all the way to the BK to press to whatever, everything you need to do a film. And that's when I was able to appreciate like everything about what goes into a film. You think I just write something up and it's going to take a camera and shoot it. No. Yeah. Everything's calculated. Everything down to the movement, down to the beats, down to everything. And people don't realize the work and dedication it takes of a team to get that done.
Yeah. And the fact that I understand that I can write cost effective. So exactly. I can write where, if I know what somebody's budget is going to be for something, okay, I can write around what their budget is and what they have access to. So I know that your mother have a house and you can use this house for filming, and you need a thriller. I can write something that takes place where 80% of it is within that house. Which I actually did that for myself with something. But yeah, I can write around what you actually have access to.
Okay. See, this is great. And so you're one of those filmmakers that also take on other projects that maybe you didn't write, but you take over the directing or whatever. If they pay
I've helped out on situations like that.
Okay.
I wrote stuff for other people. I never took over directing for anybody.
So if I said, I'm going to pay you, how much do you charge me? Here's my script. I need this done. Can you help me? What would you be able to give me a fee, give me a whatever? And
I would have to read the script first, because the thing about it, the one thing that makes it cost effective for me is that I own all of my equipment. I have 2 cinema cameras and 2 other cameras that I have to do that lights and all this stuff. I just have, I heard something recently called you got gas. That's gear acquisition syndrome. I just acquire gear all the time now, and Amazon makes it even worse. So
they do. Look at this, but $299.
Yeah, but if they give me a script, I can read it. I can let them know. I can give them a breakdown of about how much it'll cost.
Right.
If they're going to be doing the guerrilla style, it'll cut the cost down, but we may have to make changes to certain parts of the script and things like that. But the main thing would be getting the best actors you can get if you're going to do certain guerrilla style, because you gotta move fast.
Yes, everybody got to know their part.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Well, okay. Well, I'll keep you in mind, because I know a lot of people that looking to get their stuff done. And I said, why don't you just hire someone who loves doing this? That's what they do.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, you always want to write your own stuff. Yes. But if I can eat and do that and eat and do mine, why not? You just eating all day. I mean, why not? So it's just a thought I have. I'll tell you more about it later. But so what was the moment like you realized you needed to write en route?
En route. So
where did I get that from?
It's because it's spelled route. If some people say en route, I say en route. I think en route is the proper way to say it. But some people say en route.
So route.
I'm using huh?
They spelled the same.
Yeah, it's spelled the same. It's like theater and theater.
Right.
It's one of those words.
Okay.
So one thing I was doing to get money up for projects and stuff like that, I started doing Uber back in 2015. And just doing that over a few years, I've always been writing short scripts. I always had little small ideas based on little things that would happen to me on different rides.
Okay.
And I'll take a situation and I'll just exaggerate it, or I'll go left with it or something like that.
Wow.
But there were never stories that I could make a full feature with.
Okay.
But right about the time when COVID hit, it was just about to hit, I figured out, I could take this storyline that I have. It won't make up a whole script.
Right.
And I could take this one and I could just weave them in. That'd be a series right there.
Right.
So I knew I could make a series out of it. But in order for me to do it out of my budget, my money, I have to do a web series. I have to shorten it up to maybe 5 to 20 minutes episode. Okay. And I can do it that way. So
brilliant.
Right around 2019, I think I started writing it, and I finished it in 2019. Okay. And then once COVID hit, I had to figure out a way to. Most of the scenes take place inside of the car.
Right.
So I had to figure out how to shoot inside the car and make it safe. So I have all this equipment to put around the car and drive and stuff like that, but it won't be safe with people focusing, driving and stuff like that. Right. Then I decided I would do green screen. Okay. But I'm not really good with editing green screen, even though there's a lot of great people out there, and I just don't like it. I said I'd rather get something where everything is in camera. So what I did is I used my garage and I put in a projection screen. Okay. In the back, and being that most of it takes place at nighttime, the garage, make it dark, then set up lights to look how you want to look. You got the projection screen in the back. I have these 1.2 is lens types that give you the great bokeh and make the out of focus look really good. You can't tell that they're not driving.
No, I couldn't. And that's what I'm gonna say. How did you get to them? That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Every driving scene where they was actually driving was except for maybe some of the daytime stuff was done in a garage.
Wow, that is. I would have never guessed that. That is good. Yeah, that is freaking good, man. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, so en route had been living in your head since what? 2019? That long?
And parts of it been in my head since 2015.
Like writing it down, starting
writing it down. Yeah, 2019. I started writing it, and I finished it in 2019 also. So I wrote all 8 episodes in maybe about a month and a half or something like that.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Wow. But it took me a few years to figure out how I wanted to shoot it. So I had to get doors on my garage and figure out how I wanted to do it with the green screen versus outside and the
That
projection
is
screen.
so clever, man. That I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you're really inspirational. Two of my friends, one's a screenwriter and one's also a screenwriter and is working on a project. So very inspirational.
Thank you.
I mean, just that part about the garage alone is like, how freaking clever is that? So, because
Yeah.
sometimes when we think of scout locations, we think like, I'm going to go to Istanbul in the mountains. It's like, you do not have that kind of budget. It's not.
You can actually do stuff a lot easier now. I have a scene that I wrote in another script of mine where someone is in I think it's Kazakhstan or something like that, and they're walking through like a desert or snow. I can't remember because I wrote it a long time ago. And I was like, how am I going to do this? Now I know I can do this in the garage. I have a treadmill that's just the bottom part. You put that in front of the projector screen. Put the projector screen. I mean, it can be done a lot easier than it would have been when I first came up with the idea. So
wow. See, I mean, but also they got AI now. That's scary for us who really want to be creators, for real prop people, for real scout locators. It's the scary thought that you might not be working too much now. Your scout location might be like, the garage is going to be a great spot.
Yeah.
So that's not good. But for you and budget.
Yeah, AI don't really scare me personally too much.
Okay.
I understand for screenwriters, they're afraid that AI is going to be writing certain stories. And I'm pretty sure AI is going to get really good. It's just hard for me to imagine that a algorithm going to come up with actual feelings and emotions and stuff that we actually go through. And as a writer or director, you're manipulating people's emotions, and you got to know when to do certain things.
Yes.
And I think that the scripts could be able to come out maybe an outline or something. I just don't know if it's ever going to get to a point where it replaces an actual writer.
Right, knocking out blockbusters fully by AI.
Yeah, I think they can do, like, I'll give you an example. Netflix had a few movies out last year that was basically all the same movie.
Okay.
They had a movie with Halle Berry and Mark Wahlberg where they were spies, and they was in America, then they went to London. They had another one with Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx, and they were spies, and they end up going to London. I mean, it's the same exact pattern, and it makes me wonder, like, is that AI or what? But I see the patterns. I don't know if anybody else saw them.
I see a lot of it.
Yeah,
especially you see the crappy endings. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
that has no emotion compared to what we just went through.
Yeah, exactly. So I always think that a actual mind would always connect with another mind better than an algorithm.
Absolutely. And so I'm glad to hear you say that. So I won't have no fear. But I have seen what is the name of them studios? I forgot what it's called. So if I'm a writer and I'm not a good director, whatever, I can actually get footage of what I'm looking for. So I need a baby crying, I need a girl crying with dark hair. They show me a bunch of footage. I can pick it and add it in. Like, so I was like, whoa. I mean, that's kind of, I had a project to do for a class. And I asked them, I said, can I use stock footage from, what's the name, Shutter and whatever else I could find? And they said, yeah, that's fine. Because I said, I don't have equipment. I don't have all that. And they said, nope, as long as you get it done. And I did it. Now, I would rather have paid somebody like yourself to have really shot it, because then it would be really powerful. But
and you'll see other people that use that same footage for something else.
Okay, so that's where it's bad. I kind of see. I'm seeing that now. I'm like, wait, everybody got the same plot? What's up with that?
Yeah, I was using music for licensed music for En Route.
Okay.
And I started watching something over the past few months, and I heard the same song. I said,
No,
it feels a little funny. Most people won't know, but as a creator, you always want to use like I had somebody I used to work with that did my scores.
Right.
And he basically got out of doing music, so I would have to find somebody else new to do that.
Right.
But I want somebody who can actually get on the piano and write to the actual scene that they're looking at.
Okay. Well, that's what I say. Once you start utilizing some of these art, I mean, I know a lot of young artists who you just give them the scenario, what you want, boom, they get it done. They can get it done.
And I know I could have went and looked for somebody to do that. I reached out to a few people, but during the middle of shooting en route,
Uh-huh.
my boiler went, and I had to spend $10,000 to get a new boiler,
Okay.
and I had to take that from the budget. So that pushed out my production for like another 6 months.
Okay.
I would have been done in 2004, but
Okay.
I didn't get done until the end of 2024.
Right.
I
Right.
didn't get done until closer to 2025.
Wow. Well, that's amazing stuff. What is en route really about for you beyond the surface plot? Like, what are the things that resonate?
For me, I think it's looking inside the walls of other people almost, and just kind of exaggerating it, because I think we all like a little bit of drama, but
Yes.
just seeing, just most of our lives, we come home, we go to work, we come home, we sit in front of the cable television, but we watch like 3 channels like all week.
Yep.
You got like 200 channels here, but you watch 3 channels all week.
True.
And I think sometimes you can get a little bored, and if you see what other people are going through, whether it's good, bad, or drama, anything like that, it just kind of gives you a little bit, you know, you might envy their life a little bit, or you might be like, I don't want to deal with what they're dealing with. So everybody's like giving you a break, you know, pretty much every movie is giving you a break from what you do every single day, and a little bit of drama, a little bit of exaggerating relationships with people, bringing people together.
Too.
Yeah.
A lot of lessons. So I like it better than Power, because Power feels like it's being glorifying, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
And I actually love the first Power.
I know why you like that
one. At some point, it started getting to a point where, and I love everything that they're doing over there, but it started getting redundant to me a little bit.
Well, the person who originally wrote it is not. Excuse me. It is alleged. This is what he told me. Okay. They took it from him, and it makes sense why none of the other ones are good, or to me good, because it's not the original writer. So I don't know how true that is. It's a he said, he said, but I believe him. I mean, for what if you knew the kind of work he did, you'd be like, well, he don't have to make this up.
Yeah, and I think some of that stuff still happens, but I think, and I always went into, so this is something that I actually do. When I write screenplays, I code them. So I put little things throughout every single screenplay I write, that even if you were to steal it and you change things around, there's still going to be parts of my DNA within that screenplay.
Good for you. Me too.
Yeah. But even if they do steal it, I'm a creator. I'll create something else.
And more. Exactly.
You don't want anybody to steal from you, but the stuff that happens,
right.
If it happens, I'm going to create something else. It's not gonna. It's for me. It don't stop. I can't turn it off.
Well, I'm so glad that you said that, because a lot of times people get discouraged, and I know I was one of them. Not discouraged, but I was like, well, first I was raising kids. That's why I didn't go, because time is everything, and if you don't got the time, sorry. You know, just like if you don't finish the script, it don't matter how good it is. It ain't finished. We don't care. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you kind of you see all the plagiarism. Like I had in comedy, I had so much stuff stolen that I was like, really? I mean, like, I'm not even that great, and you're stealing already? Dang, wait till I get really good. You know, so with my screenplays, they're like my babies. But then, like you said, someone said to me, if they're your babies and this is your gift, when they steal one, you'll write 10 more, which is true. I'm that person. I got 14 in the works, 2 done. I'm all day long, I could think. All day long. They just I could take a walk and I come up with a whole nother scenario. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. So I'm gonna start thinking like you and just say, all right, you got that one, but you won't get these next 10. You know. Yeah. That's all.
And I was networking with a lot of screenwriters back in like 2008. And one advice that somebody gave me is like, if you have to give one away, give it away. But sometimes you have to make connections with people. Yes. And I was like, I don't want to give anything away. But you know what? Ideas just don't stop for me. They keep up. They keep coming up constantly. And
that's how you know it's a gift.
Yeah, if you was to look at my phone and you see my notes and I just slide through,
that's me.
You'll see from the time I had an iPhone, every single idea, it's just stuff that pops into my head. Stuff that is great that I'll never get a chance to use just because it's not enough time in life.
Right,
You know,
right. Wow. Now that's serious. That's good. That means it's your calling. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? When it can flow like that, this is not no, I'm just gonna try to get rich. No, it's beyond the money because
yeah,
money, if money was the concern, we'd all be in trouble.
yeah.
Um, are there any characters or moments in route drawn from your real life? Like how much of your experience yourself are
Yes. So, there's a lot of stuff. When you see people throw up in the car and stuff like that, that of course that happened to me.
Mhm.
But I want to say this without giving too much of it away.
I know. I was gonna say we'll watch the trailer after this. You can set it up.
Yeah. So the character Julian, that's the guy. That's the white guy who's the white guy who,
Cab driver.
yeah, the cab driver.
One that, oh, okay, I don't want to give it away. Never mind. I was about to tell the whole scenario.
Yeah. So the reason that his story progressed
Mhm.
is basically something that happened to me almost. So
Okay.
one day I'm coming home from work. I'm going to give an example. It's not exact.
Oh, I was like, you really ran into a serial killer?
I
Oh,
exaggerate.
I mean,
So you
awkward.
just gotta look at how I exaggerate.
Okay.
I come home from work one day. I'm so tired. I didn't eat all day. I stop at a store. It's wintertime. I get me a sandwich. I'm walking home. I'm a couple blocks away from my house.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I'm walking to the corner, and a dog walks around the corner. And that
Mm.
dog starts growling at me.
Mm.
And I'm sitting here looking at my sandwich, and then looking at this dog, and I'm tired. And I go, I may have to kill this dog for the sandwich.
Oh no.
All of a sudden, the dog walks away, and I'm scared. And I started walking, and that was a moment where I was like, if I would have killed this dog,
Mm-hmm.
would that have triggered something in me
Mm.
to go another? Because you sometimes just as a guy, you feel like you killed the bear and everything like that. Would it have triggered something in me? And that's something that in episode, I believe it's episode 7, Julian kind of says that to his wife. We talks about, hey, I was coming home and I had the dog and stuff like that, and I was using that as that's a platform to where that created something in him,
Okay.
where he killed something, and it was always something there, and he bottled it up and pushed it down and stuff like that.
Right.
And something else happened that caused him to become a different person than he really is.
Wow, that's deep. I mean, because
Yeah.
I love. I mean, I don't love that part, but I love that scene where the. Should I say it, or am I telling too much? The offer,
Give
the
me a hint of what it is.
cereal offer in the cab.
The first episode.
That is the first episode or second? Ooh, now you got me.
Julian was in the first episode. We don't see him again until the end of I think the third episode. So maybe it was
third when he picks up the driver that says, "Yeah, sometimes we don't want to do bad" or whatever he
yeah,
said.
yeah. That's first episode.
Okay, so that was the first. Dang. Okay, I mean, I'm going through them now, so they're like, so,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was powerful.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, because
And
we all read into something sinister. Now, what will you do is the question.
Yeah. So, and you see how I set that whole everything in it. It's like I dropped so many breadcrumbs. I had to set one thing up early in that scene to throw you off by the end of that episode.
Yes.
And
you did a
then
good
later
job.
on, we pick up more breadcrumbs of stuff that happened in that first. So it's I try to weave a lot of stuff into it, and if you're into it, you'll pick up on a lot of stuff. I'm gonna take you on a little ride, but I think that you really would, you sit down and you watch all 8 episodes. I think anybody would really enjoy it, because I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed working with these actors. They were awesome.
Yes, it was amazing.
And a funny thing about some of the actors is that just before COVID hit, a friend of mine had invited me to a interview she was doing, and she introduced me to like 4 actors.
Okay.
And we all had a great time, great night out and everything like that. That was the last time I went out. And then COVID hit, and I ain't leave the house in like 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody except for one of those actors was in this web series.
Get out of town.
So I was able to get them all in. I knew I wanted to, we just had such a great night that I was like, I want, if I tell you I'm going to work with you, I'm not one of the people that just say it. I want to work with you. We're going to do something together. So
Wow, that is beautiful. And given actors who normally may not have been seen yet, or maybe had small parts other places, we don't know them, is brilliant. And because to be fair, only Tyler Perry was the only person to really start doing that. And I mean, we won't go there on that part, but he's really the only person I could think of off the top of my. Oh, Spike Lee. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
My bad, Mr. Lee. My bad. He did it.
You know what? Yeah. I think almost most directors got certain people they like working with.
Okay.
So you look at what's his name? Christopher Nolan. You see he likes working with I think it's Cillian Murphy, or he worked with him a couple times.
Okay.
I think you meet certain actors and you know that this person can pull off everything I need them to do. Yeah. And you always keep them in your back pocket. So
right, like a Rolodex. Yeah. I got it. So that's brilliant. I love. I don't know how I say it. I love to see this in film. And the last time I've seen where creatives work together in the same genre for the sake of the project is the art world in the 80s. So all the graffiti heads, they looked out for each other, and the designers looked out for each other in fashion. And so it's nice to see that in film in 2025.
Yeah.
That you see this collective people building their little teams that are not in the traditional teams with the high budgets.
Yeah.
But they're still making it work.
And I think that's a great thing. If everybody could put aside their like egos and stuff like that, I think you can actually get a lot done. Within Route, that was my plan, was just to write it and produce it. And I wanted to get a different director to direct each episode, or have a director direct 2 episodes. This way you have 4 directors or 8 directors. That was the idea.
Okay.
But I think it would have been more work for me to get directors to come in and direct it than me just doing it myself. Right. So I think it just made it easier for me. It made it easier for the budget. And hopefully I can still do something like that one day.
Right.
I would love to just hire a bunch of like maybe 3-4 writers, sit down with an idea that I have in my head and flush it out in a weekend over pizza and stuff. So
yes, that's the way to do it. The writer's room is the best.
Yeah.
So before we go to this clip, the trailer, excuse me, just tell me who or what are some of your biggest creative influencers, and how did they show up in this project?
My biggest creative influencers,
filmmakers, writers, events that happen in your life, whatever shape.
It's hard to say because I'm easily inspired. Mm-hmm. So it could be somebody that inspired me from something that I don't even know their name. I've seen a movie of let me give you what's his name? Dion. I forgot. It's another director. Okay. And I watched one of his movies, and it was really good. I didn't realize everything he had to go through to put the movie together. Then a few months later, I seen another movie of his, and I said, "Oh, this is the same guy." And I started following him, and I'm just inspired how he just got on and he just made it. He just went for it. So I'm easily inspired by a lot of people, just a lot of scenarios. It might not be any particular artist. Believe it or not, it can just be a song. If Ice Cube's song "Today Is a Good Day," you would not believe how many times I played that song, and I sat down and said, "How can I make this song a movie?" And I would love to do that. I would love to take that song, the actual things that he's saying, and weave that into a movie. Yes. Because you can see it when you hear it, but can it be done to the point where people actually enjoy it and not just putting up scenes and stuff like that? That's something that I played with over my head, but I don't own it, so I'm gonna let it go. But every time I hear the song, it just comes right back to my head again.
Well, there's a reason. So maybe one day you meet Cube and y'all go over something.
Maybe.
You never know.
Yeah.
But that's great. So set up the trailer for me, and we'll go to the trailer. Set it up for me.
Sure. So the trailer is basically for En Route. Is small clips of what the 4 friends. So these 4 friends, they all are rideshare drivers. They drive primarily at nighttime. Okay. They usually stop, have dinner together before they go out, or coffee or something before they go out. and
Okay.
they worked the night shift pretty much. So
Okay.
this is just a teaser clip, just to get you inspired on what you're gonna actually see with these four friends that's doing Rashi at night.
Okay. So let's see. Here we go. Ready?
So, do you do this full time?
Yes, it's full time. I also volunteer, trying to help young women get off the streets.
Homeless women?
Prostitutes.
Bullets after the car accident would be the one thing that put me to early retirement.
Wow. Just running into the widow passengers as a driver, I would have bet my life you would pull a gun out once or twice.
It's true what they say. The creeps come out at night.
And I'm not on the block anymore. You remember Tone from 18th? His uncle moved weight all up and down the East Coast.
Look, let me stop you right there. I don't want anything to do with that. Matter of fact, don't even tell me about it. I'm good. I've been doing this scoop shit almost every day now.
What's up with Eric though, man? He back in on work.
His ass is out. One little scare and he's off running like a bitch.
So what is he doing for money?
So now isn't he in work with his brother?
You come up with a game plan yet?
Thinking about writing a novel. About what? Urban shit. Drug shit.
Why you ain't just shoot me a text or something?
I want my old job back.
You talk about the bowl?
Are you still licensed to carry?
In New Jersey, yes. So you mean to tell me you really trust this guy?
Yeah. The reason he's not a cop is the reason I still am.
You know, he kind of reminds me of a sleazeball I used to work for. Saying that I actually working for someone, it gives you the impression that I was actually getting paid. Nope.
You don't know shit about me or him.
I know enough to know about that bruise on your face.
You gonna try to get out tonight?
I went through something pretty damn daunting recently.
Oh no. I made a bunch of promises. I ain't got no more fuck-ups left. You can't fuck this up.
We working, put it right down on the spot. Never hold back, give you all that we got, we stay working. From the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the business shop, the whole block, working.
Wow. Woohoo. Yeah. That was powerful stuff right there, boy.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. I did not turn something off. Hold up. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. I got the thing about that. That's powerful stuff. Whoa. Woof. Every time because I'm still on, I think I'm in episode 3 or 4. Oh my God, I can't remember because what happens, I switched from one and then I went to another one and then something happened with my TV and it was weird. So I went back to one because I said maybe it was me. So now I'm like, which one am I in? But I love all the characters so far. You know, it's giving me modern day. I know this sounds crazy. Has it ruined the view? Alfred Hitchcock, remember that? How he went into, the guy was in a wheelchair and he saw everything out his window.
You know what? I think my mentor once told me that same thing about Rear Window or something like that. Or
yes, Rear Window. Thank you. Alfred. I'm sorry, Mr. Hitchcock. Sorry, but yeah.
I think it's called Rear Window, something like that. But
that's right, Rear Window. He was my favorite director. So
okay.
I mean, who can pull off black and white like that? I mean, come on. You know, the birds, all that stuff. Everything he did was just crazy. So, but I like that because that's the last time I think of where, everybody's a driver, but what are they going through? And so you get to really go in and be like a little fly on the wall of what driving really consists of.
And this is the thing about it. Like the name of the story is En Route. Mm-hmm. All 4 of these people have a past. They're dealing with what they're dealing with now, and they're all trying to do something else. So they're all en route in their life, and they're en route as drivers, just taking people here and there. So they're all dealing with something at the present moment, running from something else and trying to get somewhere else. So then they're all in the same situation. Right. And that's the part of it. At first, it took me a second to catch it, and also wait a minute. Oh, this is more than just drivers. And it's funny because my mother had one of the first car services in my town, beside this other guy. So it's funny as a kid riding around my dad, there's always some story, Oh, this is Miss So-and-so, and they have, they bake the cake and they, the family has to this. I mean, you hear every last thing known to man. But I can imagine the nighttime stories. Woo-hoo. Yeah. And that's when everything goes down. Is stuff and things happen to me at night where I mean, there's still so many stories that I don't know if I can put them all inside of if I decide to do another. I have the idea for season 2. I have the outline already in my head.
Okay.
But some of the stuff that actually happened to me, I just don't know if I can fit it in, just because sometimes it's just offbeat. It's just something that happened.
Right. So, okay. So you have to know when to hold up.
Yeah, exactly.
What was your process like putting your team together for En Route?
My process for putting my team together was extremely easy because it was only me. I didn't. So when I first did the first couple shoots, I did have a friend of mine help me.
Okay.
On a few of the days.
Okay.
And when I was flushing out the idea of how to shoot, I had another friend of mine. We did some stuff with green screen, but after that, just to keep the budget down, at the time I just couldn't afford to keep paying a crew. I said I'm just gonna light it with basic lighting, just what I learned from my mentor. I'm gonna light it with basic lighting. I have these cameras. A lot of stuff is stationary, and we could try to do it, get it in and out. 3-4 takes, if that, then move on to the next scene. So I moved really quick with this. I just wanted to make sure that the acting was as good as I can get it. The clarity of the video was as good as I can get it. The sound was great.
Yes, it was.
And the lighting was decent to pass, just because I didn't want to put so much on myself that it actually broke me.
Okay.
My first feature that I did, it took us about 6 months to do it, and I gained 50 pounds. Because I just let everything go, and I learned from that. All right, just focus on telling the story and get stuff done. And I just learned how to move faster with doing stuff. When I have a crew, it'd be a lot different, but just doing it by myself, I had to write it in a way where I can shoot it and get done really fast.
Wow. Yeah. So was there a moment during the production that tested you or made you realize you were doing something special?
I think after every emotional scene that I did with one of the actors, they all had something emotional that always touched me, like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. So after every time somebody cried or there was an argument between, I think Eric and Nicole in it.
Now wait, they're brother and sister?
No, Eric and Nicole, they're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Wait, the light-skinned girl, the one that used to be the stripper?
Yes.
No. Yes?
That's his girlfriend.
So because I wasn't sure. Now that's just me, because that's probably just me. What I was coming out of zone or something else. So it's probably just me. But I was like, wait a minute, how is this going to talk to him like that? I said, it has to be a girlfriend. Sounds like something the girlfriend would say.
Yeah, that's his girlfriend. So she was basically a single mother. She got kids, and he's trying to incorporate himself into their family kinda. But she's a little hard to deal with. So
yeah, well, she's one of them girls that's used to the streets and getting that quick money.
Yeah, and that's what it is, because he used to get quick money.
Exactly. You see, that's clear. Yeah, that's clear. You made that was extremely clear and good, because that is a thing. That is a thing. And I used to be an addiction counselor, and I tell people, once you get used to that kind of money, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worse than doing the drug.
Yeah.
You used to make $50,000 a day.
Yeah.
And you didn't really do no work but stand on the corner. Like, what else can you do?
I can see how that's an addiction.
Yeah, and the girls, let's talk about it. They're used to, I'm gonna get this bag, and I'm gonna get this hair, and I'm gonna get this bag. So you coming home like, we ain't got money for the light bill. What?
Yeah, it's totally different lifestyle that she's used to. Yes. So you'll see how it kind of gets under her skin and what she have to do, what she end up doing.
I saw,
later on. So once you start getting,
I was a little pissed at her, because I was like, dang, she didn't give her no time to like try to get it together, nothing. And then I was pissed at him, because what he do with the bag he find, even though he didn't go looking for it, but it like fell in his lap. He was like, okay, it's time to go back. Like, no, what are you doing?
Yeah. but he gave a reason for that bag. If it was something smaller, he would have tossed it. But because of the amount, it was worth taking chances with. So
Right. I get it. No, it's good. It's giving me like, ugh, I'm like, I gotta get back in here. So how do you balance being both the writer and the director on a project like this?
It's actually easy for me because I, as a writer,
Mhm.
I can do that all by myself. I can sit down, I can work late, I can do it any time of day. I'm doing it by myself. When I start directing, then normally I need a crew. So now I'm collaborating with people, and I love that portion of it also. So I get to do both of them. I get to just be by myself and sit in my thoughts, play with words and things like that, adjust and put things together. Then when it's time to execute, you get to tell people what your vision are, and we all try to make it happen. So for me, it's seamless. It's pretty easy for me. Yeah, that's just how my brain works. Is that when I'm writing, I just do it by myself. Leave me alone. When I'm directing, I want to be next to everybody, and hey, we all having a good time and fun, and we getting something done. So, you know.
That is amazing. Wow, I'm in awe. Now, when you do your scripts, do you do the highlighting? What do you call that? When they break down the scripts.
So this is the funny thing about it. Most of the time, you know how they say with Jay-Z, he don't write his.
Yes, he says he don't write his lyrics.
Well, he don't, and I'm going to tell you why I feel that that's true.
Okay.
I write my scripts, but I don't write them until I flushed out every single scene in my head. Okay. Once I know where everything is going to go, I can sit down and write it in a matter of like 2 weeks. Okay. But I have stories in my head that I've been working on for years, and I just haven't. I don't know how to bridge certain scenes yet, or I'm not thinking about it enough. Okay. But sometimes I'll come up with an idea, and over 2 days, I flushed out 120 pages in my head, and then I can go ahead and write it. So a lot of times I still rewrite, but I do a lot of rewriting in my head before I put it on paper, because I say, well, this scene should happen first, and I'll just move stuff around. And I just think that's from me being in my head all the time, understanding stories and stuff like that, where I can actually do that. Outside of that, I have to put it on paper because other people need to read it. Yes. It's different for Jay-Z because he don't have other people don't need to read it. He just needs to get it out on record or whatever. But I can see why. I can see how he's able to do that.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. That's really writing and getting it all together. Yeah. What do you want viewers to feel or think after they watch En Route? Like, what's the takeaway? Is there one thing that carries with them, or what would it be?
I really want them to just enjoy a really good story, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if I have any takeaways from it, because things in it that people do bad, we know we ain't supposed to do bad. Things that people do good, we know we're supposed to do good. But compared to a lot of stuff that people see on TV shows and stuff like that, I just want you to enjoy something and be into it, where everything else is blocked out. Like the last time I went to a movie theater, and let me give you an example. It's a movie called Gone Girl with Ben Affleck and I think Tyler Perry was in it. It wasn't Tyler Perry movie. And I was in the movie theater and I'm watching it. And for a second, I just got out of it and I looked around, and the entire theater was quiet and they all leaning in, looking at it. And I just knew that was a moment where I want to do this to an audience. Right. I want you to forget that you was even at the movie theater. Right. Everything that they're experiencing, they were so into what was going on, trying to figure out stuff before it happened. That's what I want audiences to feel.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's I mean, I know I'm feeling a certain kind of way watching it. So I can't wait for other people to check it out. You guys can check it out on, what's it on again? It's on
YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah. En Route the series. I think somebody else got a website for En Route also.
I think it's a band or something. A band or something.
Yeah, it's like a band or something like that. When I was saying that, I was like, and I thought about changing the name.
Yes, very important.
I thought the name was just too perfect.
Yes.
For me to change. So I just said en route the series.
The series, yeah, that makes sense.
2025.
Yeah,
is
put the
released.
series, guys.
Yeah, all 8 episodes is out there.
Good.
I'm pretty sure that they're gonna enjoy it.
Wow. Yeah, no, they are. I know I enjoyed it for sure. And this is a takeaway for everybody. What's the one thing that people misunderstand about like indie filmmaking or web series that you wish more folks knew about? Like debunk the myth for me.
I think that you can do it. I mean, a lot of times people want to wait until they get the money. They want to wait to income tax and stuff like that.
Yes.
Sometimes you just have to do it.
Yes.
Just like we're working out or you go to a gym or something like that. Sometimes it's hard. You have a membership and you just don't go for a long time.
Yes.
Once you go that first day, just set just one foot in front of the other. Just do it. Just start somewhere. If you don't start, a lot of times, especially as a creative and you're a thinker and writer, you sit there, you keep on thinking about stuff and if this goes right and this goes right, something's always going to happen. A kid is going to, like, I don't have kids, but kids are going to need a pair of shoes. Something in the house is going to break. Something's going to happen. But if you don't start, you'll get stuck in the same spot. And you look up, and all of a sudden you're 45. Like I'm 46, and
are you really? You look so young.
Oh no, I'm 46. Yeah, I'll be 47 this year.
I thought you were in your 20s. I was like, this young man. You're still young though.
Thank you.
I could be your mama. Put it that way. Yeah. But that's amazing. But thank you for that, because that is true. That if you don't get started, then what are you doing?
Yeah, just do something. Even if you do, just do a scene. And get that adrenaline going, and that'll start to inspire you. Like, if I can make this one scene look good, then let me just do another one after that. But you have to take that first step. You have to get started, even if you have to find actors that will hopefully work for free. Like me personally, I'd rather pay actors or work with actors that's used to getting paid, just because you get a better performance out of them. But if you can't afford it, find actors that just
find a thirsty actor thirsty actor would like a reel.
Yeah, so find actors that need a reel or something like that. And despite how bad they are, you're the director. You can make them. You figure out how to make them look good. Just figure it out. Certain things that you can do to make a bad actor in a small part look better than they actually are. So but you have to take those first few steps as an indie filmmaker and just do something.
Wow. Yeah, no, definitely something. That's very inspiring. We appreciate you for that.
And that's another thing about it, is that people are more willing to work with you once they see that you finish something.
Right. Because they know you're going to get the job done.
Exactly. Yeah.
In Hollywood, that's everything. If you don't get the job done.
And every indie filmmaker out there, they know that it's somebody else they look up to. And they probably want to work with that person. Why? Because they finished stuff and they got stuff done and they're moving and stuff like that. But you can be that person where you finish some things and people will want to work with you.
Wow. Yes, definitely. Because then they have something to go by.
Yeah, exactly. They got something to look at. I have access to this person, and
they can base it off.
You get about 4 filmmakers or 4 artists together. Y'all can make anything. You can really do anything. If I'm the writer and you have a director, you have an actor, I'm gonna write for this actor. You're gonna direct it, and y'all can all make that work if y'all all sacrifice.
Because I'm trying to make a co-op, a creative co-op for writers, for filmmakers, for young people just starting out, whatever. If everybody worked as a team, they can get so much done. They get all.
And everybody, you have to sacrifice. Yes. Everybody works as a team, know what their roles are, commit to maybe 4 weekends of doing something.
Right.
And just to see how it is. Like if I know I want to shoot with an actor that I never worked with, a lot of times I will work with them on a small short movie just to make sure that I can work with them, because I'm going to be working with them for an extended amount of time. For a long time. So let me just make sure I can work with this person first, and then you can go forward. And I think if actors get together or filmmakers get together, y'all all put aside y'all egos, put something together. We can get a lot more stuff done
Yes.
and get everybody to where they need to go.
Yes, and that's the bottom line because there's room for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no such thing as only 5 of us can fit. Nope, everybody can fit.
Yeah, and it's still some people you'll tell them that and they still don't see it. I remember like years ago, I thought like the singer Leah. I remember she said her brother wanted to be a director, and I was like, oh man, if he's a director, then that's one less pay. No, it don't work like that. Just do your just do you. Just keep going.
Yes.
You know.
Wow, it's I'm very inspired right now. You got me really riled up, and a couple of my people out here who do in film, they're inspired. Somebody else said they would love to work with you.
Yeah, I told you, I am easily inspired. Yeah, but the next thing I'm working on is going to be more comedic. So I now I'm about to. Maybe you can probably help me out with that. I gotta find a comedic young actress.
Okay, I know plenty of comics who some have been on Jimmy Fallon. So you let me know what you're looking for. I got plenty. I know plenty of comics. That's easy.
Yeah, what I was planning to do is just go to the comedy circus and just 3 nights a week, just look at a bunch of different comedians.
Male or female?
It's a female. It's a female, black female comic.
Oh, I got somebody for you.
In her 20s or 30s, but I'd rather she be better.
Suppose they look like they're in their 20s and 30s.
Say it again.
They literally look like they're in their 20s. Put a picture on that.
They don't have to be in their 20s or 30s, but they have to look that they're in their late
20s. She's funny as all get outdoors. I'll tell you that.
Please send her my way. I would love to, if she fits the role, maybe shoot a scene or something like that, and just because I'm on.
Where are you located? You're in Jersey?
I'm in Jersey, yes.
Okay, so let me. You just when we get off the air, we'll say behind the scenes, and then I'll let you know, and then you can just go look at their stuff. That's easier for you. Then you'll know right away, or whatever.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it. When I'm writing generically stuff about this character.
Okay.
But it'd be easier if I knew who the actress was, so I can write personally for her.
Yes.
So.
Yes, and then also sometimes they may be able to add in and help you all the way out. So
exactly, and that's the benefit of working with comedians is that I love that art form so much that I wish I can do it. I could probably teach myself, but I'll just love what y'all do. It's like wow, just playing on words and stuff and callbacks and all this stuff that I'm sitting here go wow as I study it. And I see something that I recognize. Oh, that's a callback. Oh, this is they setting you up for something. I just love it because I do it in film also.
Okay.
But that's an art form that I don't do.
This new one then. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this comedy one.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm writing it now. I just finished episode 4 of. I'm probably gonna do 6 episodes. So
okay.
Yeah.
And we'll talk after I get off here. I got one last question for you. So you told me some of it. What's next for En Route? I said it right? And where is your creative journey headed? Like another series, film, something totally different? I know you said the comedy. Anything else?
Yeah. So right now I'm writing another series. I want to try to shoot it this fall coming up. Once I finish with it. But before I go into production for that. I'm probably gonna start writing the second season of En Route. I'm still flushing out some stuff in my head of how I want the season to go. But I'll probably start writing that hopefully towards the end of the summer. But I need to get this first the one that I'm working with out of my head first. And then I can focus on En Route again. Out
of my head. Gets in there. Where can we find you on Instagram?
So you can find me under my name under Instagram. So that's Omar Shariff Spruell, Spruell. You can also find me on Facebook under my name. I'm pretty easy to find. I'm like the only one in the world. So
okay. So is that right? Let me see. Oh wait, did I do that right? Hold up. That was supposed to be another thing. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's right. There you go for Instagram, guys. And then what's another one? Where else? You got a website, or what do we do if they want to contact you?
No, they can just contact me through Instagram or through Facebook. Instagram is probably more. It's probably easier to get in contact with me. I don't check Facebook as much.
Okay.
Well, I have my notifications turned off because it's just too many. But Instagram, I'm easier to get in contact with.
So I'll just leave that like that because you got Facebook, guys, but he said Instagram is how you really reach him. That's how I found you. And yeah, how did I find En route? Oh, I think it was LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn?
No, I have an
No.
old
Where did
LinkedIn
I
page.
go? Where did I find you on Instagram? Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was Instagram. And why did I find? I think it was through somebody else who's in film. And you know how the little suggestions come up?
Okay.
Your thing came up, and I was like, web series. Let me click on it because Issa Rae is when I think of web series. I was like, let me just see what this is about. Because don't underestimate, don't sleep on the web series.
Okay.
And I clicked, and I was like, okay, I like this. Okay, I like this. So that's why I contacted you.
Okay. Are you based in New York or no?
I'm New York. I'm New York. What do you call it? I'm Westchester County, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what did I say? So somebody over here wanted to say something. Who's over here? Ladybugs, I see you, girl. Abbey Road Films, and I see you, Denise. Hi, guys. Yeah, somebody said they'd like to actually work with you. That's why I was asking you. Can you come up with a budget and da 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 da? Because sometimes people, even though I know your time is everything, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's all good. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Oh wow, this was very inspiring. Let's see. What do you call it? So we got your Instagram. I put it here. Blah blah blah. New comments. Who's this? Yes. Oh, that's yes, Abby. I see you, darling. I see you, my dear. I have. Hi, Sophia. How are you? Yeah, I have the information. Instagram is how you can reach him. And again, where did I put that? Tanya. I put it right here somewhere. Okay, media. Banners. I should have just made it a banner. Omar, and that's Instagram. Omar Shariff Spruell. I think I spelled that right. Let's see if I did it right. Here we go. And then we're good. All right. So guys, I appreciate you, Omar, so much. Thank you so much. Hang out with me for 1 minute as I say goodbye to everybody.
No problem.
So, guys, that was an incredible conversation with Omar Shariff Spruell en route. Sounds like it's going to be something very special, and I can't wait to see where this journey takes you next. If you enjoyed today's episode, guys, do me a favor. Make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let us know what you're most excited to see en route. I can never say it right. I'll get it right.
It's all right. Either one.
Either one, yeah. Route. You're a truck driver if you're not. And as always, guys, if you haven't already, please hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on future episodes. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I hope that I will see you guys next week. And thank you, Omar, for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Come and be with us. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Right, hang out. Don't hang up.
Okay.
Hang out. Don't hang up. Which one is it, Cooper? Hang out with us for 1 minute while I say goodbye. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next week. And thanks again. Happy Sunday to you guys. Bye.